Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $10,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 73-year-old female. Now, first thing I recommend is you just go to our website at funeralfunds.com. We have these free quoters on every page. Just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday in, fill the rest of the info. Click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies that offer the lowest pricing in your state. You can also call us directly at 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you out with that and get you those numbers as well. So really, the first thing we always encourage a 73-year-old female to do, looking for $10,000 worth of final expense coverage, is to kind of just ask herself, is that going to be enough to cover your final expenses? Now, typically that would be either a cremation or a burial. Let's start with cremation. So the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is right around $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to have some sort of a ceremony with that, maybe a remembrance of life ceremony or celebration of life ceremony, in addition to the cremation, that's probably going to be between $3,500 and $4,500. So coverage-wise, we would typically recommend $5,000 to $7,000 on average for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, you might be saying, well, Randy, but you said that'd be around $2,000, but you're recommending $5,000 worth of coverage. What's going on with that? And what we say what's going on with that is our 73-year-old probably wants to make it to 83, maybe even older. And we know that prices go up over time due to inflation. So we actually overinsure a little bit. Not a whole lot, but we want to get a little bit more insurance just to make sure that we kind of build in some inflationary price increases in the future, just based on the cost of goods and services going up over time. What that really does is it inflation proofs your plan so you don't have to come back and get coverage later. You can just take care of it with one plan. But what it also does is, God forbid you died sooner than you thought, it may in that case provide some extra funds there to pay off some medical bills or credit card bills or something like that. So it kind of protects you long-term and short-term. Now, for a cremation where you'd have that ceremony, we'd probably recommend somewhere between $7,000 to $10,000 on average. There's some flexibility there. But again, that inflation proofs the plan in the future and provides some extra funds, God forbid, if something happened a little sooner than anybody thought. Now, for the burial, we would typically recommend right around, the average cost of a burial is right around $10,000. So if you pretty much walk into any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they'll get things done. It's not going to be anything fancy, but it'd be hard to imagine that they would say, nope, we're not going to take that, let you walk out the door and walk 2 blocks down to their competitor and give that money away. Just understand it's going to be very simple. It's going to be very meager. So what we would typically recommend for a 73-year-old female is somewhere between $10,000 to $15,000. Sometimes people might look up, $20,000. Family members have a, long history of living a long time or something like genetically or something like that. But yeah, 10 to 15,000 is typically going to work just fine. Now, keep in mind that 10,000 is not inflation proofed at all. That's going to be enough to take care of things today, which is why we'd probably recommend going 15. You could go 8, 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever. But so keep in mind too that most of the people we help are on a fixed or limited income. So if they need to start at a smaller amount like that 10,000, we can help them with that, and we can always add more coverage later. So don't feel that this is an all or nothing thing. In fact, we don't recommend that because sometimes people will come in and say, I want to get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 because I want to leave a bunch of money behind for my kids. And, we typically say at age 73, it's probably the wrong time to start planning that, because once you get that much insurance, it can get a little bit spendy for the person who's on a fixed or limited income. And then sometimes they'll go, well, if I can't get 50,000, I'm not going to do anything at all. And we just have to kind of remind them, don't be so selfish. This is not about you. This is about your family. And if you don't get any insurance in place, just because you waited until age 73 and you waited until it was this expensive, and then you don't do anything just because it was your fault, that really penalizes your family. So if you need to, start at a smaller amount. Get 10 or 15,000. Don't get 50,000. And that way your family's protected. Now, one thing we always recommend getting is first day coverage or benefits. We do not recommend those 2-year waiting period plans at all. And I'll get in that in just a moment here. But what first day coverage means is that hypothetically, if your plan were issued and approved today, then and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to, provide that check for 10,000, 15, 20, 25,000, whatever it would be. But yeah, I mean, they'd have to pay. And this is the best coverage. It also has the lowest pricing, which surprises a lot of people. This is the lowest cost insurance. So yeah, you definitely want to get that plan. Now, sometimes people will say, you're right, Randy, I do want that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health and I'm a little worried I'm not going to qualify. To which we say, hey, you're qualifying. That's not your problem. That's our problem, at least from an insurance standpoint. And, the reason we say that is because we work with a bunch of different insurance companies and they all have different underwriting criteria and, they all have different health questions. And really 95% of the time we're able to get people approved for first day coverage or benefits. Really, the only reason we wouldn't is if you'd waited too long and you had some really significant health issues, like, maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you have dementia, or you're on dialysis, or in a hospital, in a nursing home, something like that. If that were the case, typically we would refer you out to a different insurance company. The other thing that happens, seems like on a weekly basis too, is somebody will call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. Their body's down at the funeral home. The funeral home director is not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get the funeral home director paid. We have to let them know that unfortunately, there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on a dead person. You got to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's really so sad that the person who passed away didn't take care of this in advance because they knew they were going to die. They'd probably looked at this coverage before and just said, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to procrastinate. And then they went and died. And now the family has to deal with this. And typically the way the family has to deal with this is they got to pay for this. And they typically put it on credit cards at 26% interest. And then they're going to be paying this forever. Now, certainly years in most cases. And just think about your legacy. You could have done everything in your life right up to this point, and then you mess this one last thing up, and that's how everybody's going to remember you. So don't be that person. This insurance is affordable. Nobody knows when they're going to die. Just get it so that your family doesn't have to suffer. You want to leave behind a great legacy. So one thing we don't recommend is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. And Colonial Penn's a fairly well-known company. They seem to advertise all the time on TV. Holy cow, seems like there's a commercial every 7 minutes. But yeah, their $9.95 plan, if you don't know this, their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period plan. Ouch! Yeah. Ooh, you don't want to get a 2-year waiting period plan if you can qualify for first day coverage. I can assure you of that. But, I'm sure, let's just kind of think about this. If our female, 73-year-old female just got done watching one of those $9.95 Colonial Penn commercials, you're probably feeling pretty good, probably thinking, you know what? I fooled Colonial Penn. I waited all the way until age 73. Now I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for $9.95. And then they talk with one of the Colonial Penn agents, or they go and look at their website online like we've done for you here. We see this 73-year-old female, $9.95 in coverage, 1 unit, $9.95, only going to buy $846 worth of 2-year waiting period insurance. Oh, yeah, not quite what you thought when you saw that very slick commercial, right? And a lot of, there's some people out there that would say that some of these companies that offer these really low teaser rates, that they do that not to actually sell you that low teaser rate plan, but they do that just to get your information, to get you in their marketing funnel. And then what they do is they actually just try to upsell you into a more expensive policy by showing you how little coverage the teaser rate covers. And then they try to just, again, sell you more insurance that's more profitable for them. Yeah, don't fall for that. I mean, some people would say that, and I want to make this very clear. We would never say that about Colonial Penn. But think about it yourself. Do you feel like that's $995, that $846 is going to take care of your cremation or burial? And then maybe you can make a decision kind of on how these teaser rates are sold. But let's take a look here because we want to get 10,000. We want to get pricing here. So I am going to guess maybe 12 units or so. There we go. Yeah, good guess. Oof. Yeah, see, the challenge is for a 73-year-old female, you can't get 10,000 on the nose because they sell per unit. They don't sell based off coverage amount. So that's why you end up with these really wackadoodle numbers, $10,152. But that's around $120. So let's go look at what first day coverage would be here. So we've got $10,000 for a female, age 73, right here, get quote. And again, this is around $10,000 for $120. Look at this. I'm going to go up and show you this again. $10,000 right there. $62. So yeah, Colonial Penn is almost 200% more expensive. And Colonial Penn's 2-year waiting period. This level, see what that says level right there? Level coverage means first day coverage. So you're not only going to pay roughly half less, but you're going to get better coverage. Yeah. So you just need to be a smart consumer out there. You need to understand this stuff. But, if you're not a smart consumer, that's okay. Insurance can be confusing. Let us help you be a smart consumer. And we can help get you qualified for many of these companies that are going to give you such great pricing compared to Colonial Penn. But let's take a look at some other companies here. You'll be able to kind of check these out. 62. I mean, Lumico here, level coverage first day, but they're like $12 more a month. So 12 times 12 months is $144. So after 10 years, when our 73-year-old male is now 83, you have overpaid right around $1,440. Why would you ever overpay on a policy from the very first day? Because you just know you're going to overpay for the rest of your life, just like Colonial Penn. Let's look at some other companies. Oh, here's one other one, Lincoln Heritage. So they're a fine company, I guess, but ouch. Look at that pricing. Yeah. It is first day coverage, but yeah, look at that pricing. So they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2-3 different funeral homes and, supposedly kind of check on the lowest pricing and maybe do a couple other things, but they don't do that for free. They charge for that. And man, they charge handsomely for it because it's like $92 versus $62. So almost $30 more a month. It's right around $30. So $30 a month times 12 months is $360 times 10 years. That way our 73-year-old female would be 83. And that would be an extra right around $3,600 you would overpay by going with Lincoln Heritage. And we don't recommend that. We recommend you keep that money in your own pocket. Don't give that to an insurance company. You can spend your own money and do better things with it than an insurance company. So yeah, we just don't recommend that. We recommend you go with the lower pricing, and we can help you get qualified for these different insurance companies that have great rates. But what we then do is we have a download on our website. It's a funeral and estate planning guide. And what that is you just download that, print it out, and then once you have it printed out, you fill it out. Who gets what goes where, and what you want done after you're gone. And by doing that, you just keep that with your insurance policy. And when you pass away, everything's in one place, and your family's going to know that you not only loved and protected them in life, but you also loved and protected them in death when they would actually need you the most. Because all they need to do is open that funeral and estate planning guide and just execute your wishes, and they'll know that they're doing everything exactly as you wanted. And what peace of mind that will provide them. So yeah, we can help you have that wonderful legacy to leave behind. Just go to funeralfunds.com/YouTube. We've got a special quarter there where we can get you the best discounts and the lowest rates. You can also call one of our agents, 888-862-9456, and we can help you out there too. But, if you've got an existing policy and you want us to price shop it to see if we can get you better pricing, or you want to add coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you want a brand new policy, or you just want to call in with questions, we can certainly help you out with that too. But we look forward to at some point in the future, helping you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with this. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.